Natural horror movies, films that tend to be about dangerous killer animals which run amok. They need to be done right, because there are some that were quite good, most notably films like Spielberg's Jaws or Arachnophobia, but many fall into the category of cheesy bad films, and Mosquito is definitely part of them, and yet it's not even the worst. What's odd about this film is that in terms of sweatiness, it's quite inconsistent. It falls into the category of so bad it's good films, which we'll see why, but at the same time it's not so god-awful either, which means that it isn't always that laughable either. The title is pretty generic, but the story itself is actually quite crazy. So it starts off with an alien starship which just crashes down in the swamp in Michigan. The alien inside doesn't make it, and mosquitoes start sucking their blood, which makes them grow to the size of a vulture. Wow! You thought those little pests were so annoying when tiny, what do you think about them now? So from here, you can guess where the plot is going. A group of survivors must band together to survive as the giant mosquitoes go on a rampage. Honestly, this is a great B-movie story, and could have had a lot of potential to be an enjoyable film. It's too bad that it looks really bad. The producers only had a measly $200,000 budget, which basically means that in this case the whole film is crap. The cast does a laughable job. They may as well have been a group of high school kids reenacting a play. The acting is almost as wooden as the Michigan forest itself, where the film is set in. The worst actor is by far this guy, Ron Ashton, who was, by the way, the lead guitarist for the punk group The Stooges. He's an embarrassment to the whole film. There's also this guy in the middle, who's supposed to be some kind of badass low-budget version of an action hero, but he's almost as terrible. One interesting thing to note about the cast, though, is that it stars Gunnar Hansen, who's most famous for playing Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a classic of the horror genre. There's no character development in this film, they are so paper thin, and it doesn't help at all that the script is clunky as hell. But the biggest problem with this movie are the special effects. I mean, just look at this. Honestly, nowadays, with CGI, I enjoy it when practical effects are used. But here, they just look hilariously fake. Jeez! When the characters get attacked by mosquitoes, it's quite obvious that they are just holding a puppet. The film is quite gory, I'll give it that, but they also try to be scary by showing cadavers of the victims that have been dried up of all their blood. It's revolting at first sight, but cheesy as hell. This is where Mosquito falls into the so bad it's good category. Those effects are so bad that they're hilarious. So basically, those who have survived wind up stuck in an abandoned farmhouse where they continue to fight swarms of mosquitoes. It's not a very energetic fight, honestly. There's this interesting scene though where Hansen's character picks up a chainsaw and starts fighting against the mosquitoes. It's a reference to his prior role as Leatherface, which is kinda neat. There's also this scene where the survivors find a large amount of mosquito eggs in the basement. Little did the screenwriters know that mosquito eggs only actually grow in the water of marshes. But anyways, this goof is the least of the film's quality problems. Also, there's no backstory whatsoever on the aliens, and they are never mentioned again in the rest of the movie. Why did the mothership just decide to drop a spacecraft on Earth for no reason? Were they like trying to play a prank on the uninspected alien? In fact, the alien arm is the best looking special effects shot in the whole film, and it's barely there. Overall, I've watched this film twice, and both times they were just bad. Over the years, it's grown a cult following, which I could definitely understand. This movie is really one of a kind. They tried to do their best, but honestly, there are just too many big flaws for this horror pick to be enjoyable. It winds up potentially making you cringe more than anything else. It's way too bad. Supposedly, director Gary Jones is trying to work on a sequel to this. But we all know sequels in general don't tend to live up to their predecessors, and honestly, I don't see it being any better than the first film. Thank you for watching this bad movie review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't hesitate to like and subscribe, therefore you will be notified for other bad movie reviews coming really soon.